Warning. Listening to this show may result in increased levels of inspiration, motivation, and innovation. Side effects can include the immediate urge to take massive action to build a better business and life for yourself and others. You've been warned. Welcome to Influencers Radio with your host, Jack Mize.
And welcome back to another episode of Influencers Radio. You know, it's one thing to work hard to make money, but it takes a completely different skill set to make that money work hard for you. Well, my guest today is LinLi Wang. She is a heart-centered financial services professional who provides financial education to help her clients make the right financial decisions for their individual situations. As a former IT engineer and director, she understands how personal finances can take a backseat to your job or business. That's why she's passionate about teaming up with her clients to create an empowering money mindset so that they can unlock wealth and live a fulfilled life of freedom. She also loves to train others to become financial service professionals. LinLi, welcome to Influencers Radio.
Hi, Jack. It's absolutely honor and glad to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad to have you because what you do really kind of goes above and beyond what a lot of people think about when it comes to financial advice, financial advisors, because your approach to this, seems that you approach this with a lot of empathy, not just numbers, not just do this, do that, but a lot of empathy and a lot of you take time to kind of understand their situations and what it is that they their goals, their financial goals, and also to understand their financial obstacles and help them get over. The one thing that really strikes me is that mindset part. So we definitely want to get into that. And I think that really leads me to my first question that I want to kick this off with is why is it that, so many smart people with good jobs are making good money are finding themselves struggling when it comes to personal finances and building wealth?
Wow, Jack, that is such a good question. And also where my passion laid is because I realize and money is about a mindset, how we relate to money. And even though we're very smart, with what we do, our job, sometimes we may not associate with money as important or take a back seat, not give it priority. Because that often we push the financial responsibility to daily life, as long as you can carry your life and that future financial life may be too far, but before you know it, and things happens. I think the first problem or the issue laid is the mindset around money, the relationship with money, and which give us the priority when it comes to build our financial life. So most of the time we are saying financial freedom is not a dream. It's truly a priority. And the second I want to emphasize is a lack of financial knowledge. So basically, for example, when I was working in IT, at the time, I was just focused on my IT domain. I love IT. I love the intellect. So my sole focus is just getting my excellent in what I do. So when it comes to money, I really didn't pay too much attention to it. And due to that and the knowledge side, I just like lots of people doing right now. Put the money in the 401k, put the money in the RA saving account, and really truly don't know too much money at that time. So I think that is the loss of challenges situation is because of lack of financial education in your system. Let's face it, if we don't have those type of knowledge, how can we drive financial successful, right? And the third thing is lack of really preparation for life challenging situations. So Jack, in life, if we're looking ahead, the common four big challenges is one, is related to life challenge situations, whether it's a premature passed away or health related challenges causing by many reasons, and that's causing the financial hardship. We were saying, you're going to encounter lots of money for whether it's medical bills, or you cannot work temporarily, or you passed and your income died from it. And the second challenges that we can possibly encounter is debt, too much bill, too much debt, and don't know how to handle it. And that's going to further make our financial life into a deep bend. And the third is job changes and also business ups and downs. Like right now, how so many people challenged by the current situation, and the money is tight, and with inflation so high, and with the market uncertainty, you name it. So all this bring the life challenges once come to money. And lastly, I want to say is for people, the folks that ready to retire, however, they has not come up with adequate savings roads, so that they run into the problem worry about whether they have enough money that going to live before they run out, if their money run out. So that's pretty much of the hardship people, even though we're very smart, but due to those situations causing the financial difficulties.
Well, you covered a lot there, and I want to dig into a few of the points that you made, but it seems like, just like I mentioned at the top of the show, so many people, the difference between you and a lot of financial advisors is that education component, because a lot of people think of financial advisors as being, tell me what to do, right? Tell me where to put my money, tell me what to do with my money. But you are really like to take the time to educate people so they understand themselves what it is that they are doing with their money. So when you talk about some of those things, and I think a lot of people can relate to the point that it's easy to get caught up and so focused on earning the money, right? And then not focusing on, what you're going to do with that money to help prevent a lot of those challenges that you talked about. So if we could take those challenges kind of individually, I think it would be a big benefit. So I think one of the first ones that you talked about, or I'm not even sure is one of the first ones, but those being prepared, right? What do you see as being, if someone's going to take this one at a time, what's the first thing that you think that they should focus on when it comes to being prepared? Is it, when you talk about the premature death, would it be the life insurance, or you talk about illnesses, maybe, disabilities, or would it be focusing on not letting that debt get too far away from them?
And Jack, this is a good question, which is when it's coming to build our financial life. I say it's like you're building your financial house. We all know, Jack, when you're building a house, you're not building a house on the quicksand. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people seem to, yeah.
Yeah, you have to dig like lots of effort to make sure that foundation is sound to stand for storm and through years of the house that have been endured the life. So same thing with a financial life. So when we're building a financial life, just like you're building a house, you had a financial foundation. So that foundation had to be there when the life challenging situation happens. So the first layer is a protection. I would say as a priority once come to design your financial life. Let's face it, life happens and we don't know when next thing pass next to us happen, right? And like right now we're going through a pandemic and nobody expected or anticipated, I would say majority of us, and it goes through a lot of challenges, and that causing of premature deaths or the health challenges and cannot work, and then your income stops, right? So those situations need to be handled, whether it's using life insurance or whether it's using the situation like, say, long-term care, where may disable the body function permanently or temporarily, and there's a chance of that going to deplete it all your money if you don't have plan for that, right? And also we can see right now with this all uncertain situation, people get so stressed out. Now the heart attack and stroke, cancer, you often heard more and more. If we don't have those of protection in place, then what happened that happened, and there's going to be so much impact, not only just for the person have inflicted those situations, not able to work, also the family member around is going to really troublesome. And so that's why I think it's important to causing awareness and to look what's the best solution that in this situation right now where you're at, you put a plan for protection for now, in the future, and also for your retirement. So that's the first layer, I would say, Jack, we need to take care of. And the second one, you also asked me about debt, right? I think that you can come to addressing that situation second as a priority. Because debt sometimes kind of like really, I ask so many people about when they come to their debt, they feel like I'm stressed, I feel anxiety, and sometimes people feel guilty. It just makes them feel that they couldn't really sleep well, and that going to impact our health as well. So the debt situation, another thing is that not only emotionally and we cause lots of this uneasiness, but also the interest on the debt, you compounding so fast. Sometimes people don't know about how compounding effect to the debt, and it's going to erode so much of a financial growth from those from their financial life. So that we need to eliminate the debt as soon as possible, so that don't feel like them being buried in the hole, cannot come out of it. So this is the second. Third, we need to address is emergency fund. Because in the emergency situation, that whether you lost a job or you have a blowout in your major appliances or even your car situation. And sometimes I have friends, they make so much money. They have BMWs. Whenever they go in the shop, it's over $1,000 charge. They get a panic because they have not saved up to enough emergency fund. So typically, we recommend people to have about at least 6 to 12 months of monthly expenses, keep them in the liquid position so that when emergency situation rises, they are not panic, right? And then lastly is that investment. So you can take with all these layers addressed, then you have a peace of mind or confidence to take some risk that calculated to us your risk tolerance to invest some vehicles where there is a market risk, but also there's a growth so that you can eventually grow money better. So that's in general for 4 priority. I recommend our clients or people to consider.
And I think about that with your strategies is if you think about like sports or in life, that's the defensive side, right? But you also have the offensive side, and I know that you talk about things like building passive income. So would you focus on that defensive side first, defend against these challenges or these maybe unknowns that may pop up, and then so if we move to the offensive, once you have that plan together, is that when you start looking at the some of the more maybe expansive wealth building and that passive income? Can you talk a little bit about that side of it?
Yeah, sure, Jack. That's I think great insight. In other words, I love you talking about the building the financial life like a play sports. and you take a offending team and also a defending team. So defending team is all about manage the risk to protect what you have. But in the meantime, offending team is to grow the money so that eventually those money be there for you when you need it, and as much as you can. So from the offending side, there's many ways that we can consider, and you can utilize of the different vehicles where it does have a market risk, but there's a potential growth. Much, I would say, growth potential is bigger than the typically pretty conservative approach. So that is a offending mechanism you can utilize. We have so many programs, whether it's a mutual fund or whether it's stocks or whether it is something that you can mix in between, like hybrid vehicles, and it takes some risk but not 100% risk. So those offending team, we can utilize that. But in the meantime, I think also you mentioned about how you can build in wealth. There's where I'm looking at our way of thinking once come to mindset of earn our income. So I love share with people of the mindset is between the active income and the passive income. The active income, more like you working harder for money, and whether the skill set or whether it's experience, expertise, that's a fantastic. You're able to using that to make money, but it's limited, and also it's in a sense not stable. The limit in a sense by time, we only have 24/7, right, Jack? So that how much we can produce really limit by time, because the minute that you start working, if you just depend on active income, there's no income. And I can give you an example. Yesterday, I talked to one of my friends, and he makes multi-six figures in his job. But so things changes. One of the product being taken off shelf, now that product alone reduced his income by 70,000. And that's put a big dent on his situation. And and there's a situation that his health got a little bit of disturbed as well, not able to work for about 1 week or so. And that income stopped as well. So you can see the active income in a sense is not 100% stable. That's why I'm talking about with our mindset have to have a passive income. How can I leverage a system to build a passive income? So when it comes to passive income, it's a mindset change. If you look at all of the people, they're thinking of building passive income. One way they become investors, using the money, working harder for them, and manage proper risk and gain. But in another, it's become business owner, or they have a system working for them. So that when they're not working, whether they're traveling or whether they're sick out, but the income's still coming. So that's where I really passionate about, to help people realize the way how you make income is really important for your financial freedom in the future.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they want this. They're listening to what you say and they, yes, that's what I need. That's what I need. And then there's always that but, right? And I think a lot of people, and this probably goes back to mindset, they think, but I have this unique situation, but, and when I've talked to financial advisors and people in any kind of advisory capacity, it's one of the biggest obstacles, it seems, that people have when seeking help like that is they think that their situation is too far out of control, or they maybe feel embarrassed about their situation to go to someone, just like you talked about the friends that drive the BMW, but then struggle when $1,000 repair job comes up. That may not be something that they want to share with people. And I think that's one of the really big advantages that you provide, like I said before, is that empathy and the really understanding the situation. What would you say to people that may think that it's really something I need to do, but I've just let my debt get too far out of hand, or I'm making a lot of money, but I'm just living paycheck to paycheck because of kind of the corner I've painted myself into. What do you say to those folks, to give them hope and to let them know that there is a way out of this, and there is a way to move forward?
Oh, Jack, that's the question that is my passion. Once come to resolve people's this type of experiences, feel in a way stuck or lost or overwhelmed, and which is totally understandable because when we are in that of emotion entanglement, it's harder to think straight. So that's why I always ask or suggest when you do in that situation, and first take a deep breath and tell yourself that all is going to be move forward as long as you're starting to take responsibilities. So typically how I suggest people or my client, if they choose to working with me, is really side by side, look into the awareness, how they think about their financial life, their relationship with the money. But most of the time it's on mindset and to give us a way of how we look into the situations and then give us actions. So the first I think that we can do is just do a self inventory, not inventory about your thinking, your habit of how you spend money, how do your relation with money. So when you're cleared on that, then we can look into, okay, how can we shift from here? So come up a clear of a new mindset. So when that mindset being transformed or the emotion of being settled, not get overwhelmed, then you have an opening to see how can we shift from here, take action. So the important thing here, Jack, I see that the have a mentor or have a person, experts to working side by side. Because what happened is they have all the experiences, like myself, when I just started, with my finances at the time, is with my mentor, right? So he can guide me to look at pictures. Now that's how I realized important to have a mentor. And so also in the process, we do have a roadmap for people to look into whether they want to come in to learn and with the financial knowledge that we provide. And if they choose to working with us, right, working with me, and also the action plan, how can we make sure that your new actions align with your new goals? So you have a hope and to lean towards to build your financial future. And the more important is to have a monitor process. So we can work in progress to evaluate how do you do 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a half year, or 1 year from now. So when you get that gain, daily gain, I call it compounding effect in your action, then you can all of a sudden find yourself in a different space in your relationship with money, and your possibility with your future financial life is lighted up, and you can breathe in better. Also, you can dream bigger. And when you have that result, I think all are going to make the milestone for bigger one. So that's how typically I love to working with people to help them shifting that process.
It's amazing. I think it's just human nature. It's a lot easier to count other people's money than it is to count your own, right?
Yes, absolutely.
One of the things that I find really interesting is that aside from helping people and educating people on their own finances, is that you've inspired a lot of people to become financial service professionals themselves, in order to help others the way that you do. Can you talk a little bit about that side of your business and what led you to start doing that?
Sure, Jack. Actually, this is truly my passion in a way. As I can see that we all have values, right? the value in terms of self-worth and also how much you want to make your financially the goal is. But typically when we're looking at ourselves, like whether the job or the way how you make income, you look at there's no way I can get there. Sometimes can be a feel little bit of loss or are disappointed, I would say. But what had me have this is when 10 years ago, when I was in IT, myself, when kind of reached the corporate ceiling, I was looking for opportunities. Say, how can I grow myself? I know that I have so much value available within me and also so much potential I can develop so it can serve also contribution to this world better. So I was looking for the next of level growth. And what happened by then, and I had this conversation with my senior business partner then, and he shared with me about the opportunity that I can learn how money works. By the way, at that time when he showed me, like I mentioned, I wasn't really know too much of finances, but I realized when he showed me there's some blind spot I didn't know. So he offered me, if you like to do this, I can train you, and also you can learn and earn at the same time without having to change anything you do in IT. Your only alter is your way of in your spare time, how to utilize your spare time to this business. So that's how I started, Jack. I love it in the sense that it gave me the outlet where I can expand myself, capacity, develop the skill set, the experiences, and also the knowledge professional side. And then in the meantime, also the business, from employee to become financial entrepreneur is a transition. So this opportunity had me to grow in that mindset and also that skill set as well. I think a more fulfilled is capable to serve more people on a larger level. That's so fulfilled. But more important, Jack, I realized that in right now, so many people has in this challenge situation in their finances, and the lack of financial knowledge, awareness, also environment is I would say one of the major factor we need to shift it. The more people get educated, the more people get involved, then we can really collectively transform of overall of the financial intelligence or consciousness awareness or the mindset. I always say that with more teacher ready there and the more student can get helped, the same thing. That's why I'm passionate about using this business as an opportunity to serve those people. They have a heart, want to navigate their own financial life. They want to learn this, but also possibly they're looking for the another way of make income, or another way give back, or another way of just develop themselves. So with that being said, really this is something that I'm passionate about, to provide people transform themselves as a financial services professional. Also, if they're willing to build a business, and also we offer that opportunity to build it together. In that way, collectively, we can make this world better. I always say great people deserve great money, make great money, because we can do great things together.
Yeah, what a tremendous abundance mindset that is, to share that knowledge and to allow other people to thrive in the same industry as you. Well, I think what a lot of people would have on their mind is, let's say someone say, this sounds like something I need to do. I really do need to get my roadmap put together. And I just, I'm starting at the beginning, but I know it's something I need to do. What does that process look like with working with you? Is that what it is? Is it where you kind of build a roadmap to the beginning, kind of know what the end goal is and how to get from point A to point B? What is that if someone comes to you and says, LinLi, I'm ready to get started? What is that process?
Oh, Jack, I'm glad you asked me that question. And every day I'm so happy to sit down with people. So the process typically is get to know the people in front of me and to see what's important to them and what's their challenges and what's their concerns in their financial life. And also what their dream is and where they are feeling that uh, the gap is. So I step into that gap to help them map through where the dream want to be, and by one means the goals, so we can clarify and also clearly define where they're at. And so this is a process. We do have a very detailed process to gather the information as far as their landscape of financial life, where they're at. So through those information, they're comfortable to disclose to me. So I can look at, okay, based on this situation right now, you exactly you're at and then where you want to be. And let's put a game plan. So from that, they feel comfortable. But along the way, definitely that Jack is a progressive of process, because first I had to identify their mindset about money and also what's blocked them or what they are have not seen the possibility. So we have to look into so that can help them remove it so they can see themselves. That way we can causing the teamwork. So they're able to accountable for what's the goals that we set up and the plan we come together so they can have the discipline to do it. So it's truly is a teamwork side by side. So with that, when they're happy and clear, then we have the progressive 3 years building process. And through, time, we do have the relationship and the touch base and monitor, update, etc., etc. So really it's in the process of we building the lifetime relationship and witness their progress of whether is successful in their personal life, they get married, have kids, etc., or they get a promotion at their job, or they have a hardship, whether it goes through divorce or whether it's a downturn, a lost job, etc. So we go through the up and downs, as a life partner towards a financial life. But also, I think for me, I'm very loving in terms of when it comes to the heart centered. It's really heart to heart connection that really celebrate in life the victory, the over challenges together we're working through. So that's the process, Jack.
So it's not just a here, let's put together your plan. Here's your plan. Good luck. It actually goes well beyond that. It's ongoing accountability and monitoring the progress and making adjustments along the way. Because as you just described, surprises happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's something that can be adjusted along the way for those life surprises. So you're with them far beyond just creating the plan. You're helping them actually implement the plan, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, how can someone find out more? So if someone wants to get involved, how can they connect with you to see if this is right for them?
Okay, Jack. So they can connect with me, and typically I like in-person conversation. So if they are preferred, they can text me and to have a conversation, either set up through Zoom or through phone conversation, whatever they feel comfortable. Because I think a real communication is really in person. So they can take my number, and I can tell here is 561 512 7158. Again, the number is 561 512 and 7158. And also on the social media, I'm right now in the process of develop that. So I do have social media presence, which is using the LinkedIn and by name LinLi Wang. And also I have a Instagram and also Facebook page by Unlock Your Worth. So unlock and underscore your underscore worth is my Instagram name. So I think that this is a channel right now utilized to provide more of valuable information periodically. So get in touch with the world out there so I can be more visible and more valuable to them.
Well, fantastic. Well, we'll definitely put those links here on the show post so people can connect with you. LinLi, I've got to thank you for coming on and sharing this. You truly are a real educator and an advocate for the success of others, and that's what makes the world a better place. So thank you for coming on and sharing this information, and really putting a spotlight and opening the eyes of people that there is hope, regardless of kind of where they are in the process. That there's always something they can do to move forward. So thank you so much,
Jack, and I also thank you so much for you having me. I know to build a platform like you're doing take a tremendous commitment. Without big heart, you won't able to consistently put the best content. Also, guest speakers come into the show to talk, to make a difference with this world. So definitely it's my honor and my gratitude to you for giving me this opportunity, able to, through your voice and through your channel, we can reach out people who are maybe seeking help, that we maybe connect. Thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. Indeed. All right, folks, there you have it. Definitely check out LinLi Wang. We'll have the links there to her, connect with her on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. And until next time on Influencers Radio, remember, you are the only real game changer.
You've been listening to Influencers Radio. To get all past shows and updates on future shows, visit influencersradio.com today.